Hey, just a short one here. I got an article saying agricultural chemicals found to lower the IQ of children. This is an article from Natural News or Health Ranger, and it says if you're expecting a baby or considering starting a family soon, you've probably been reading up how to give your child the best start in life. You probably wouldn't dream of lighting up a cigarette or getting drunk while you're pregnant. But you could very well be doing something that can be quite harmful to your unborn child if you are being exposed to pesticides. Yeah, I'll come to that. This isn't a warning that it only applies to farm workers. 33 million pounds of organophosphate pesticides were used in the US in 2007 alone, putting countless people at risk. 3 studies have examined children from very different backgrounds, all reached the same conclusion. Prenatal exposure to these pesticides can have significant long-term adverse effect on child brain health, and it doesn't matter if that exposure came from crops or car control products. I'll come to that. We are not talking about a small difference. Either the exposure lowered children's IQ, but as many as 7 points. In the 2 studies that took place in New York, inner city children aged 6 to 9 who had been born to mothers who were exposed to chlorpyrifos noted working memory decreases of 2.8% and IQ drops of up to 1.5% for every increment of exposure. This means the effect is linear. Those who had higher exposure experienced more negative effects on cognition, meaning understanding. Is a drop that can cause serious problems in math and reading. Other studies on this one carried out in California looked at 300 children who lived in Monterey County agricultural communities where organophosphates were sprayed on crops, and wind drift made exposure even worse. Their mothers had been studied during pregnancy to assess the organophosphate metabolites in their system to determine their exposure. Their offspring underwent tests during childhood that included intelligence tests. The researchers in this study found that for each tenfold rise in organophosphate detected during pregnancy, the children had a 5.5 point decrease in their IQ score. Once again, the degree of the mother's exposure influenced the extent of the damage. The findings held true even after researchers made adjustments for factors like family income, exposure to other pollutants, and maternal education level. One study that was part of the European Parliament review estimated that 13 million IQ points are lost each year because of pesticide use, a figure that the report believed to be actually an underestimation. It is hard to quantify these effects, but it's clear that there is something everyone should go out of their way to avoid. Well, eating organic food is essential during pregnancy. We should not be surprised by this finding. After all, organophosphates were first developed to be a nerve agent, so it's natural that they had such big effect on the brain. They are so dangerous that some of them have been banned for residential use, but they are still widely used in the conventionally grown crops like nuts, berries, citrus fruits, grapes, and broccoli. Pregnant women already have a lot to worry about, but this is something that deserves just as much attention as other potential dangers to our unborn children. You might have already started to using natural cleaner supplies and stop changing your cat litter, but don't overlook the importance in avoiding pesticide exposure as much as possible, and look out for those home pest control products as well. Switch to organic food if you haven't already, especially produce, and make sure that you eat healthy, well-rounded diet for your health as well as for your child. Now, I know there's a lot we can do to improve on our health situation, a lot. But we actually got a problem. One thing I know from studies, that is the use of sodium fluoride in our tap water treatment as they call it, also lowers your IQ. It lowers your IQ at 6 points in 6 months in children. And that is staggering, because we need brains, but you know, there's these people that think they're better than us, and we are actually the backbone of their existence, but they don't care about that. They just, you know, regard us as useless eaters. These people don't care about your IQ. All they care about is that you get up in the morning, work your butt off, and you go to bed, and then do the same again next day, and then you die. That's how they see you. That's your job. Nothing else. They don't care about your family relations. They don't care about you sick. They don't care about anything. Just make sure that you pay your taxes. Well, fluoride is a problem. GMO is a problem. Studies also show there that it's lowering your IQ. It changes your DNA behavior, meaning the reading from the RNA, which is the pre-expression of your DNA sequence, meaning when it changes, meaning when it replicates itself, that takes place in the RNA sequence on the chromosomes. The DNA is the direct expression of the RNA's result of a replication. And that becomes the expression in the DNA, and that DNA is the expression of your functioning as a human being. And it goes down to everything in your system: brain, nerve system, eyes, ears, hair, skin, organs, everything. That's the entire code of your makeup, of who you are. And we are all unique. But this GMO has this effect that they are, when they come into our RNA, which they do through digestion. You eat, you digest, nutrients is taken from the food and distributed from your liver, cleaned through your kidneys, distributed from your liver out into your system, through your guts. 75% of your immune system sits actually in your intestines. And if they can attack your intestines, they can change the cell function of a human being. Any organism, they can change. And that's exactly what they're doing. So it is my belief, and I think I'm right on this, it is my belief, but by making these GMO products, which is in everything today, cornstarch is GMO. You can't really get around cornstarch, can you? You can't really get around high fructose corn syrup. It is in all beverages that you're drinking, and in most of the processed food that you are ingesting, drinking, whatever. It's everywhere. You can't get around it. Even if you live organic, I'll come to that. So, these GMO products are fashioned in such a way that every human being that is eating that over time becomes the same, meaning they are breaking the diversity in the human species and the animal species and in the plant species, that everything become monogamous, one, haplo, one, all the same. They want us to think the same and feel the same. And that's a complete enslavement of the human race if that happens. And it seems like they are succeeding in doing it. And there's little that you and I can do. Well, we can, but that would cause a bloody revolution to put an end to this crap. And it's actually needed. If you ask my opinion, we need to revolt and say enough. And it needs to be done worldwide. There are only 7,000 people. And we 7.6 billion on the planet, and we are doing their bidding. It's amazing, isn't it? But maybe that falls back to that people like to be in groups and think that's real slick to be in a group, when God intended us to be diverse. But we are sinking into these patterns all the time, these tribal patterns. Oh, this group, that group. Religion, race, backgrounds. I mean, come on. We are all the same, people. All the same. Listen, we all have hopes. We all have fears. We all have wishes. We all have dreams, no matter where you come from on this planet. We all have these. And we have one thing too: survival, live, food, provide. It's in our system. It's natural in us that we are gatherers of products that we can eat, so we can live, and so we can keep procreate as God has intended us to do. But with the GMO, they are slowly but surely prohibiting procreation, also through vaccines. It sterilizes you, also through these fantastic things here. You have that one in your lab. This antenna sitting in here is calibrated to destroy the human female eggs before she reaches puberty. And all the kids today have a tablet or an iPhone. Yeah. So we are under attack now. So the GMO is designed to streamline us, to we all become the same. And then there's another thing. Yeah, we want the organic stuff. It's good. Where I come from, I grew up on purely organic food, because that stuff that here in America is allowed is banned in Europe, especially in Denmark. I'm telling you, that shit ain't in food. McDonald's, when they came over to Denmark and wanted to present their product and sell it, the Danish authorities said, if you want to sell that food here under your name, it's going to be by our standards. There are no additives in the food in McDonald's stores in Denmark. So if you want a healthy McDonald's, you might want to take a trip to there. That won't kill you. But the food for McDonald's here in America will kill you. It's designed to do so. How about that? Oh, Monsanto don't exist anymore since last Friday. They merged with Bayer, the largest chemical company, pharmaceutical company in the world. And now they are interlinked with Monsanto. So Monsanto had a bad name, bad reputation. And now they think they can get rid of that bad reputation by merging into Bayer, which is an old Nazi company which did the experiments on the Jews during World War III, World War II, excuse me. And that's what they were doing, experimenting with all kinds of chemical products on human species. And they're still doing that, and now Monsanto is part of it. All we need now is one more merger, DuPont. Those three together will control the health of the entire planet like that. Like that. If they want you sick and die, you're dead. Like that. It might take a few months, but they will kill you. Because they are determined to kill you. Back to the chemtrails. Well, I didn't talk about that. We want all this organic food, all this good stuff. Of course we do. But every day, you and I are walking outside. Airplanes flying past. Big white plumes coming out behind them. All these metals is raining down on ground, acidifying our oceans, acidifying our soil, which needs to be pH neutral in order for plant life to thrive and have a high yield. And lots of CO2. You need to get off that train. That CO2 is bad. No CO2, you dead. Because there will be no plant life. There will be no crops growing. And you don't get food, you die. Isn't it simple? So get off this global warming crap, okay? The longer you stay in there, the longer you look stupid. To the whole world, especially yourself, because you must be stupid. Well, maybe that hangs together with these pesticides. That is, your brain can simply not fathom what it is I'm talking about. But all this stuff is raining down on your face. Down into the ground, the plant sucks it up. You think you're eating organic, but you're eating barium, strontium, copper, titanium, arsenic, antimony, aluminum linked to Alzheimer's, neurological disorder, big time. And what else is in these chemtrails? We don't know. Maybe we should ask Bayer. Maybe we should ask DuPont. Maybe they have an idea about what's going on with that. Because I think they're involved in that. I just don't think that is something that some climate group came up with. No. It's all interconnected. Well, here in the end of this video, I was driving back from Houston. I was down there helping the poor people again, because they simply just can't handle the low pressure. So I had a week down there. I was driving home on Friday afternoon, or past rush hour, on I-10 west, and that was a gigantic rain cloud, and I was bitching about it because I just washed my truck, and I have pet peeve with dirty truck. I cannot drive a dirty truck. I hate that. It has to be. Period. I paint my tires black. I am squeaky. That's just how I am. I don't like filth. And I represent my company, so I better look good. Right? Not look like a typical truck driver. Look like he hadn't had a shower for 2 months. And his truck looked like it's been dripped in mud, and he don't give a flying F about anything. That's not how you represent your company. Period. You get up in the morning, you look nice. You represent your company by looking nice. That customer will call back to the company and ensure that you still have a job. How about that? So get a shower, put some decent clothes on. Don't have to put a tie on, but put something nice on, okay? Not full of fat stains and grease and smuts from the truck all over your shirt, and you're wearing that shirt for 2, 3, 4, the whole freaking work week. Ew! When I see you on the truck stop, I just... I wonder if he's washing his hands after being out, dripping his snout off in the toilet. Because I see a lot of truck drivers don't do that either. They just flip out their hose and pee, and then they walk straight out. You want to touch the merchandise in that stall? So, it got a little darker. It's the other phone I'm using right now. Well, that's just one to say about that. It's disgusting, if you ask me. But I was driving home, and I was worried about this cloud hanging out there. It looked like it was straight in my direction. I was thinking, oh no, I'm gonna get real nasty now. And I mean gross, because it was coming down. Thankfully, I did not drive into it, but I got something spectacular to look at. Something I've never seen before, but maybe some of you, of course, have. But it looked pretty amazing. So here in the end of this video, those pictures would be there, and I don't even know if I want to put some music on it or not. I mean, just take the pictures as they are, because they looks pretty neat. Actually, very neat. Kind of like it's cut just with a knife, the sky. It was just amazing looking. So that's just what I have for this week's little broadcast about our health, our situation when it comes to our health, and the onslaught on humans from them. See, back in the days of Noah, they came down here, right? Them. I call them. When I say them in my videos, I mean them. Unearthly creatures. Not humans. Them. Call fallen angels. Call whatever you want to call them. Nordics, Andromedans, and all the blah, 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 blah. They're all the same. Evil. They came down here and they wanted to spoil and foil up and destroy completely, 100%, everything that God himself has created and saw was good. They're doing the exact same thing now. But they're doing this with the help of humans, because they do not any longer have that authority and that power to come down here. They will come, but not yet, but they will come and save the world, they say. That will be the first coming of some entity, coming with all kinds of promises, and you will be deceived. The whole world will be deceived. I'm not deceived. I know who they are, and I'm going to kill them. Whoever stands in my way of that kind, I will kill them, because they got no right to be here. You and I are all powerful. We are created all powerful and with a sound mind. We are created in His image. Do you think that God will create a human species as being blah? No, of course not. But these people and them make you believe that you do not have a purpose on this planet. That's what they're doing to you, and you are believing that lie, and therefore you are not using those powers that you are equipped with. You are unable to, because you don't believe in yourself, and you don't believe that Him who created you, your Father, is right behind you and supporting you in your endeavor in combating and defeating and banishing all evil from this planet. That's where we are as a human species. Pretty much we're done as it is right now. It's terrifying to think about that all the people walking around out there. I'm not defenseless. But most of the people I'm meeting out there, those who don't wash their hands after going on the toilet, not having common sense to understand that they have bacteria on their hands they should not transmit to products in the store after they've been out peeing. That kind of people would stand no chance against it, because they don't know what they are up against. And frankly, I don't even think they want to listen. And if they don't want to listen, just like when they went into the towns to preach the gospel and people did not want to listen, they were told by Yeshua, if they did not want to listen, just leave the town, brush off your shoes, and walk away. They were given the gospel. They had a choice, either to believe or to dismiss. And whoever chooses to dismiss makes a choice, and that choice is final. when that day comes. You can make your choice. You want to stand up for your Creator, die for your Creator, die for your freedom, die for your family, for your nation, for this world, not for the love of earthly things, but for love of what He in heaven has given us as the greatest gift of love that we can possibly imagine ever to receive. That's the choice we have. You want to receive that gift and ensure your eternal life, or you just want to float downstream and wither away into oblivion. And when the day comes that you die, there will be no place for you. You will go the same place that those who tried to destroy what God created and trying to kill Him because they think they can kill Him, they can go to war against Him and win. They are actually that narcissistic. They are actually that stupid. He spoke everything into existence. Spoke, and it was there. Don't you think He can speak and take it all back in one sentence? Yeah, I think He can. Remember, everything is vibration and energy, right? Frequencies, like Tesla knew. That's how he did it. By that. Because everything is frequency, vibration and energy. Everything. But it just has different expressions. Just like your DNA has different expressions. So some look like a rock, and it is a rock. Something look like this thing, and it is this thing. But is it physical? I don't know. I can't prove it, and I can't disprove it. There you have it, cool. Think about it. You got a lot to think about. Now watch some nice pictures, some weird looking stuff. But this is natural. This is not because of chemtrails. This is natural, but it's beautiful. God bless you.